Okay, so now let us understand what a monomial is. So a monomial is a number. So when we say number, we mean real numbers. When we say real numbers, we mean negative numbers, positive numbers, zero, fractions, decimals, all numbers. So it can be any number. Then also, it can also be a variable. When we say variables, here we mean the letters of English alphabet. The letters of English alphabet. Let's say A, B, C, D, up to Z. Okay? So a monomial can also be a product of a number and one or more variables. So it can be a product of a number, let's say 2, and a variable, let's say x. So it can be like 2x. Or it can be, let's say, a number like negative 9 x, y, z. You understand that? So this means that it can be one variable or more variables. Remember, when we say variables, we mean letters of English alphabet. Let's say A, B, C, D, up to C, like that. Okay? Now, the special thing also about the monomial, the variables can have powers, but these powers must be whole numbers. So this means that the power of the variable can be, let's say, 0, 1, 2, 3, and many others. So this means that you must not have a negative power. You get that? So if you have a negative power, it means that that is not a monomial. Okay? So the other important thing also is that no addition or subtraction sign is allowed. So when you have got an addition sign or subtraction, then that one will not qualify to be a monomial. I hope now you understand very well what we call a monomial. So we can say that an example like 2, that is a monomial. We can have, let's say, 2 over 5, that is a monomial. You can have, let's say, 2.6, that is a monomial. You can have a negative, let's say negative 10, it is a monomial. Okay? Then you can also have variable. Let's say you have got x, let's say you have got a, let's say you have got y, all these, you can say that that is a monomial. Or you can have a product of a number and a variable. Let's say you have got 2x. Let's say you have got 21y. Okay? Then also it can be a product of a number and more than one variables. Let's say you have got 5xy. Let's say you have got 99 wmn. You understand that? Now, the other important thing also is that these variables can have powers, but the powers must be whole numbers. Let's say you may have like 6x to the power of 4. You can have, let's say, 7x y squared z to the power, let's say, of 5. All these will qualify to be monomials. So, but if you will have a negative power, then that one will not be a monomial. I hope you get that. So, in other words, you should not have division of a variable, because when you divide a variable, this means that it will have a negative power. An example, like if I have, let's say, 2 over n. You see, let's say 2 over n to the power of 2. Literally, this is the same as 2n to the power of -2. Now, when you have a negative power, then this one will not be a monomial. That's why we say that you should not divide by a variable. So this is not a monomial. Okay. Now, an example of a monomial here, let's say 2x to the power of 5. We say that this 2 is known as coefficient. So the coefficient will be the number behind the variable. So remember, variable, we know that it is the letter. So here, x will be the variable. Okay? Now, this 5 is an exponent, but the exponents here will be known as the degree of monomial. You are going to understand this very, very well when you watch my video about what is a degree of a monomial. Now, let's have some examples here to understand very well what monomials are. So we are having, number 1, we have x. Is x a monomial? Oh yes, because it is a variable, and a variable is a monomial, so it is a monomial. What is the coefficient? So here we have got like 1. So 1 times x is the same as x. So here the coefficient, we say that it is 1, and the variable, of course, it is x. The degree, now when you have any variable with no power, we know that it is to the power of 1. So here the degree is 1. Okay. 9x cubed, or you can call it 9x to the power of 3. Yes, it is a monomial, because this is a product of a number and a variable. And then the power, you can see it is not a negative. So here the coefficient is 9, the variable is x, and the degree of this monomial is 3. Okay. 7a to the power of -2. So this is not a monomial because it has got a negative power. So that is not a monomial. So then we have 11mn to the power of 8, y to the power of 4. Yes, this is a monomial because it is a product of a number and more than one variables. And you can see the powers that we have here, 8 and 4, these are whole numbers. So it is a monomial. The coefficient is 11. The variables we have m, n, and y. Now the degree, it will be, now m is to the power of 1. So the degree of this monomial will be the sum of the powers. So that is 1 plus 8 plus 4. Okay, 1 plus 8 plus 4. And then we get 13. I hope that is okay. Then we have got this one, 8ab to the power of 3 divided by c to the power of 2. Now, this is not a monomial because dividing variables is not allowed. Reason being, when you divide a variable that will be having a positive power, actually, once you write it in form of multiplication, it will have a negative power. So this one actually is the same as 8a b to the power of 3 c to the power of -2. So you see the power is a negative, so that is not a monomial. Now, we have got 23p to the power of 7 plus 7t to the power of 3. Now, remember we said that no addition or subtraction sign is allowed. Now, since we have got addition here, so this will be not a monomial. Now, I believe that you have understood what we call a monomial.